This is how I eliminate burnout as an entrepreneur throughout the years, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it, just like how I've done it. Now, there's 4 key areas that I discovered throughout the years to eliminate burnout. The first thing I had to discover, this is when I was first starting as an entrepreneur. I was opening up my brick and mortar practice. Also, I had my first child, and so I was juggling a lot of different things and felt like I was just burning on fumes. But I was young, and so it's like, why am I constantly burnt out? Why is this constantly happening? And I realized that it wasn't all the different hacks and the productivity things I needed to do, the routines I needed to build, because I tried all those things and I wasn't able to be consistent. So I finally had to humble myself and realize I need to talk to a doctor, because when your biochemistry is off, it's very hard to make all these things implement. And so the first thing that I had to realize is that right here, the very first thing, key thing, is I needed to identify the root cause, or like what is causing this. And when I saw the doctor, we ran several different labs. And some of the biggest things that I did see is, one is that my cortisol was plummeted. I wasn't producing enough, and being young as I was, because this was like in my late 20s, I was not producing enough cortisol. So it's like, no wonder I didn't have the energy and I couldn't deal with the burnout. On top of that, there was also key vitamins, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, iron, and vitamin D that I was really low in. And so I knew I had to address this, and this is what my doctor was telling me if I wanted to eliminate the low energy burnout state that I was in. Also, another thing that I was really deficient in this area was something that helped produce our mental energy, which was dopamine. But not only was it dopamine, it was a specific amino acid known as phenylalanine, which helps make dopamine. And so these key amino acids I needed to address within my foods and the diet that I was consuming on a daily basis. Now, if you're wondering what labs you can run as an entrepreneur being burnt out and figure out what that is, then you should just download my entrepreneur lab protocol guide that I use with all my burnout entrepreneur patients. And again, that's in the description below. Now, the second area that I had to address was what was constantly getting me in this constant burnout state. It's one thing to identify what is causing it, but what is initiating the whole process, where it made me deplete all these different areas. And that's where we have to eliminate what's causing it. Now for me, and this is probably very true also for you, is that there's certain stressors in your life that's constantly sabotaging your body chemistry. For me at the time, as I was opening up my brick and mortar practice, there's a lot of stress when starting a practice, but I also was working at another clinic that I was being micromanaged, and I hated it. I always stressed going to work at that clinic, and it just was weighing down on me, and I just could not function. In fact, I felt like my brain was gone. Like I couldn't do good work with my patients because I was constantly being micromanaged, and I just hated the environment. And so I had to make a tough decision. I realized I had to pretty much quit, and that's what I did. I decided to quit and just go all in my practice. It was scary because I just had a brand new baby. My wife wasn't working anymore, and so it was definitely a scary situation. But the moment I did that, oh, what a relief it was. I was able to just breathe, and I felt more relaxed, and all of a sudden my energy started to improve, and I was able to really focus on my business and my practice in order to give full attention to it without being burnt out. Now, the third area, once you've been really good at eliminating what's sabotaging it and you identify what it is, now you need to replenish what is deficient. So for my case, it was not just only using certain supplementation to target those areas that I was deficient in, but it was also the foods. So there was key vitamins that you definitely, when you see you're deficient in certain vitamins and micronutrients, you focus on those specific foods. Also in my case, I had certain amino acids that I was deficient in, so I need to focus more on proteins, which I was definitely being out of balance. And the other thing that I also need to focus on, that also the test that I was running, is that my blood sugar levels were kind of inconsistent at that time, even though I was young, but my eating habits were not the greatest, and it was all over the place. In fact, I was starting to develop some insulin resistance issues, and so I had to stabilize my blood sugar. And so therefore, I really need to focus on more fibers, proteins to stabilize my blood sugar in order to get my energy back. Because when blood sugar levels are up and down, so will your energy be up and down. And like I said before, if you're trying to figure out what labs to do to help start this whole process, just download my entrepreneur lab protocol guide that I give with all my patients. You can get that in the description below. Now, the fourth area is, once we've implemented all this, we need to see, is it working? Obviously, yes, you're gonna feel better, but is it changing your body chemistry? Because remember, your body chemistry needs to change in order to implement all the different hacks, productivity things, brain hacks that you want to improve on your business. All those things can happen and be consistent as long as the biochemistry is staying stable and giving the energy that you need. And so the fourth area is you need to retest to see what worked. But also more importantly is to analyze and adjust to optimize to improve those levels. So that's something I do on a regular basis. I'll retest, and something I'll do with my patients on a consistent regular basis to see, okay, what we implemented, did we see our B vitamins go up? Did we see vitamin D go up? Did we see my cortisol levels go up? Yes, they did. And because of that, I knew that there were still some areas that needed a little bit more improvement. And so it helped me to realize I need to increase dosages on certain supplements, but also realizing that maybe my digestive system wasn't absorbing it so well. So I decided to do a big detox cleanse to cleanse the system so that my body would absorb the nutrients so the gut and brain could be more interconnected to help improve my energy and my focus. Now you might be wondering, okay, what supplements do I need to take? Because yes, that's an easy thing to start with, but understand that food and lifestyle needs to be the ultimate goal to helping improving your energy and constantly eliminating your burnout and doing these 4 areas. Now, if you're wondering what kind of best supplements to implement, especially as a burnt out entrepreneur, then watch this video next, where I dive deeper into what specific supplements that are best for burnt out entrepreneurs that every entrepreneur needs. So watch this video next.